Greetings. This will be a video regarding the major volcanic eruption that's occurring across Indonesia's Flores Island, and that is the Lewotobi volcano, which is currently at alert level red status. Now, the island of Flores has 10 volcanoes. 4 of them have been activated over the last 12 months. 2 of them, they were in yellow status, and the Aya volcano just recently moved into orange alert, and the Lewotobi volcano erupted in the month of November 2024. Now I'm going to be using astrocartography to explain some of these volcanoes that have been active across the Flores Islands, Indonesia. First off, the Lewotobi volcano, which is central Flores Island. Now, this volcano showed signs of activity and went to yellow alert level in the month of May of 2024, and I found a direct correlation which ties us right back into 2020. We had a Saturn station pretty much right over the volcano itself, and also in the month of May, and this is quite important. The Aya volcano has a series of planetary motion of movements, and I'll get into that shortly. And also the Lewotobi volcano, its current eruption, we can directly correlate to a Pluto station, which is just currently in progress. We're now looking at the exact date of the eruption, the 3rd of November 2024, and looking at what the planets were doing overhead. And we know that there were a series of planetary oppositions on this day. Venus was opposing Jupiter, and at the same time Mars was opposing Pluto. So this is a double opposition, and we also have Saturn involved in a very strong trine aspect with Sun, which is sitting on the ascending node, as seen from the house location with astrocartography. There's also a grand trine underneath, where we have Mercury, Neptune and Mars having a grand trine. So there's a fair amount going on this particular day, November 3rd, 2024, the date of the eruption. We're now going right back to the month of May of 2020. This is where the celestial interactions were about to take place across the Indonesian island of Flores, where there have been 4 volcanoes that have shown signs of unrest since 2023. The month of May, we have a very interesting celestial dynamic where Saturn has stationed and about to turn retrograde. And this is a very interesting location, as its exact location is marking the volcano, Lewotobi volcano, which was to erupt in 2023. Very interesting area, and very near this is also the Aya volcano, which erupted just months later. So the Saturn station, which is quite significant, as Saturn and Jupiter were to make a conjunction, a very powerful conjunction in the month of December as well. Now using astrocartography and going right back into the month of December of 2020, this is an extremely powerful time frame. Not only do we get the most significant planetary alignment and conjunction between Jupiter and Saturn taking place, we can see it just in the Indonesian region, and I'll go into this shortly. But if we have a look at the chart aspect on the left hand side, it's very rare that we have very significant chart aspects that's taking place with the main planetary alignment between Jupiter and Saturn. But also we have the Sun-Earth-Jupiter planetary alignment taking place on the same day, and we have Neptune combined into the nodes at 90 degrees. If we have a look, there's a lot going on, and the bold red lines and features are quite significant, and we get quite a lot of them. We also have Lilith and Uranus in conjunction on this day as well. If we note the location, now I've marked the house depicting the Lewotobi volcano that's currently in eruption in 2024, and I'm just going to look at the planetary drivers that were in play, but I've gone right back to 2020, and this is the first thing that caught my attention. A very powerful celestial configuration with multiple planetary alignments, and this is very similar to what occurred in the month of August 18 of 2024. Very similar configuration and planetary geometry is taking place, and importantly, the same planetary alignment between Earth, Mercury, Sun was taking place at the same time frame as well. So this is an extremely powerful time frame, as we can see from the chart aspect. Now zoomed in a little bit more closely into Indonesia, the house location depicting the Mount Lewotobi volcano, and the position of Jupiter and Saturn. We note their location. There is a fair amount of separation there, well west, but just using Google Earth just to familiarise ourselves with the area. Here is a volcano in question, and if we have a look, there is an actual volcano sitting on the exact conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn, and it hasn't really been active since, but we do have a fault line which runs right through the exact position of the Jupiter-Saturn conjunction, and that separates the Flores Sea and Banda Sea region, and there have been quite a lot of earthquakes in this general location over the last few years, so it's something quite interesting to note. Now progress forward into January of 2022, and we get an Earth-Mercury-Sun planetary alignment taking place, this time well east of the volcano itself. But it is a very interesting dynamic. So we've got the Earth-Mercury-Sun planetary alignment previously just on the other side of Indonesia, and now we're getting it much closer to the volcano itself. And this is the same planetary alignment in the previous frame where we had the Jupiter-Saturn conjunction taking place in the month of December of 2020. Now progress forward into May of 2024, and we have a station of Pluto. Pluto is stationed in between the location of the volcano and the previous Jupiter-Saturn conjunction of 2020, so it's in the middle of both points. And we have a fair amount going on. We have Pluto having an interaction with Venus just a little bit further than square, 1.5 degrees separation. We have near conjunctions taking place between Mars and Neptune, and also Jupiter and Uranus within 2 degrees of their conjunction as well. Something quite interesting taking place, although it is 6 years prior to this volcanic eruption. But we have a look, we have a conjunction between Mars and the south node. We can see its location very near this volcano itself. But we have a look at the chart aspect. We note that Uranus is square aspecting into the nodes very strongly. And using the astrocartography harmonics, we can actually see the position of Uranus, which is well west of the volcano. But we're looking at the extra harmonic, this time of Jupiter. Note the position of Jupiter, just a little bit more west. But the extra harmonic of Saturn is right over the volcano. And importantly, the Jupiter-Saturn conjunction in 2020 is what caught my attention initially. And this is very interesting. If we have a look at the chart on the left-hand side, we've got the planetary alignment between Sun and Mercury taking place. And this is what took place in 2020. So we're getting a very interesting harmonic overlay. We know that Venus is very close to the ascending node, so it'll be coming through in 2 days' time. But this is a very interesting time frame, and note that Uranus is having a square aspect into both nodes, but it's also connected into Saturn at 120 degrees, just 1 degree short of a perfect trine. So this is something quite interesting, and it's taking place while the harmonic, 150 degree harmonic of Saturn, is directly overhead the volcano itself in the month of September of 2018. I found something quite interesting back in March of 2022. We have a conjunction between Mars and Venus taking place very near this volcano itself. We see on the chart aspect on the left-hand side, Mars and Venus are at 2 degrees in perfect position. The IC position, which is the midnight of the volcano itself, which is directly underneath. Now, I found this quite interesting. Now, the software is showing that they don't exactly meet perfectly for a conjunction, and it must be due to the orbital position of both Venus and Mars with respect to the Earth not quite being perfect. But we can see from the chart that they are sitting at 2 degrees in the IC position, which is the midnight position of the volcano. I found this quite interesting. Now, progress forward into 2022. This time we're in April. Note that we have Saturn sitting at square aspect into the nodes, just 2 degrees short of a perfect square on both sides. And we have Saturn making a connection with Mars. Now, the Saturn-Mars connections are synonymous with volcanic eruptions. And I've just gone into the harmonics, the 160 degree harmonic, and notice location between Mars and Saturn and their conjunction pretty much around 2 degrees short of the volcano itself and 2 degrees short of the nodes. So that's something again quite interesting. And on this day of the Mars-Saturn conjunction, we have Jupiter and Neptune in conjunction while connected into the node. So again, something quite interesting, and the harmonic is showing a very interesting symmetry very near the volcano itself. We're still in April of 2022, and I've just noted the chart aspects are very powerful during this time frame as Saturn is squaring into the nodes within a degree. Now I've just moved it forward, and we get the perfect conjunction between Jupiter and also Neptune taking place west of the volcano, but importantly having a very strong aspect into the nodes. So this is where it's at its strongest. We have Saturn squaring into the nodes while Jupiter and Neptune having a very strong trine aspect into the south node. This is a fairly significant time frame, and know that the location, the 45 degree harmonic descending node of the conjunction between Jupiter and Neptune, their position as Saturn becomes very strongly aspected into the nodes as Jupiter moves across the volcano, while it's conjoining with the descending node of Mercury. So we can see that they're very significant. We have square aspects into the nodes while there's another square aspect taking place, and I've seen this quite a lot, and this is a very interesting time frame, and this is the month of April of 2022. Now I've taken a series of still images and I've overlaid the exact position of the volcanoes, and we can see a little bit more clearly the eye volcano marked by the orange triangle very near the Mars position, which is sitting on the MC. So this may explain the activity for the Eye volcano that was to follow, and this is the month of May of 2023, and the Eye volcano became activated in 2024. So this is a pretty good indicator as the main planetary drivers that were occurring prior to this volcanic activity in the Flores Island, specifically the central Flores Island. We've now looked a little bit more closely into the August timeframe of 2024 as the planetary configurations and geometry, and specifically the chart aspect, reminded me of what I've just looked at prior to in the year of 2020. Now looking back, and I've just added some extra harmonics here. I've added the 72 degree harmonic and 45, and I found something quite interesting. The Earth-Mercury-Sun planetary alignment that took place on the 19th of August of 2024, its 72 degree harmonic is right over the Eye volcano. Now the 45 degree harmonic is showing a very strong configuration between Venus, Pluto and Saturn. Now if we note that Pluto and Saturn in the chart aspect were at square aspect and Jupiter was squaring Venus, so we can see that the 45 degree harmonic is in between the Lewotobi volcano and the Eye volcano in the month of August of 2024. Okay, I've just gone into 2023, specifically the month of November, and we note at the chart aspect on the left hand side we have the Sun-Mars conjunction within 2 degrees. Now the Sun has just moved through that just 2 days prior, but I've just added the 72 degree harmonic, and we note that the position of Uranus begins in this location just west of the volcano, and the following day it moves right on top of the volcano itself. So the Sun-Mars conjunction and the position of Uranus, specifically the 72 degree harmonic, is also showing over the Lewotobi volcano in the month of November of 2023. Now into 2021, this time the month of December, and I'll specifically focus on the position of Jupiter. Now it's at 90 degrees with the nodes, and I thought I'd just use the extra harmonics on this day, and I found that the position of Mars is also showing itself right over the volcano. It's 150 degree harmonic when Jupiter was making a very important square aspect with both nodes. Now the Lewotobi volcano erupted back in 2003, so I've gone back using astrocartography to see what was going on prior to this eruption. And if we have a look, this is the exact date of the eruption. We have the powerful planetary alignment taking place between Jupiter and also Neptune, a perfect opposition, while having a square aspect into another planetary conjunction between Mercury and Venus. This is a fairly powerful time frame we can see, and we note the position of Mars as having a connection. We also have Uranus connected into both nodes, square aspect, and also the Sun's involved as well. So there's a lot going on this day, and I've added the 150 degree harmonic of Uranus that's sitting right over the volcano, and the 80 degree harmonic of Mercury and Venus, also very near the volcano itself as well. As we can see with astrocartography, there's been a fair amount of celestial interactions across the island of Flores over the last few years, and specifically the stations of Saturn in 2020, and I found that this is quite interesting for Kalamutu, but importantly a Saturn station prior to its retrograde motion in the month of May of 2024 may indicate the activity that's currently in progress for the Lewotobi volcano. Thanks for watching.